So welcome, yogis. Just enjoy lying back on your mat or seated, whatever you prefer. And we'll just take as always, our first few moments to just come into this space. Notice how quickly it takes you to come into this space that I call our yogic space. Does the act of lying back on your mat or just sitting on your mat kind of just bring you here very quickly? Or does it take a little bit of time? Is the mind busy on other things and you consciously have to sort of discard those other thoughts? So just notice these little habits that we have. And if it doesn't take you very long to just tune into yourself when you sit or lie down, that might be a nice little trigger to remember for another time when you just need 5 minutes to yourself, when just everything's on top of you. Simply coming and sitting or lying on your mat could be that thing that just presses the reset button. So have a moment to root yourself down. Tune into your energies. You can start by just sort of glancing at the energy around the crown and third eye. Noticing the neck and throat chakra. Heart center and your solar plexus. And then that lower digestive area, sacral, lower back and root. Often we notice if we've got sort of a tightness or tension or ailment around these areas, which can indicate a bit of imbalance. But it's nice just to sort of be aware. Sometimes if I wake up with a stiff neck, I've slept funny, I tune into perhaps what's going on with my throat. What have I got to say? What am I holding back? What am I not saying to myself that could be nice? Just ideas to be curious. So what do you need from your practice today? If your body feels like it desperately needs to stretch, or you just really need the quiet time of mind that Yin brings you, or all of it. And often it's all of it. We are holistic beings and needing sort of that balance on mental, physical, spiritual, emotional levels. So gently, if you're lying down, just have a lovely stretch and hug the knees in. And if you're already seated, then we'll just sort of perhaps sort of tilt the head or roll the shoulders, just a gentle bit of movement to come into a comfortable seated position. Today we'll just have some quiet breath and focus meditation. We'll just simply sit with the breath. If you want to bring a mantra into it, then you can do. I leave that up to you. Whatever you really enjoy. Sometimes it's quite nice just to sit with your thoughts and think about them and look at them and wonder where they move and how they jump from one subject to the next. Every time we do go off on a tangent though, just try and come back to the breath. The breath is our anchor. So we'll take about 5 minutes just to rest the hands. Let the eyelids close gently, soften everything. And then just start to follow the breath. Even when you feel relaxed in the shoulders and back, there's usually a bit more you can soften. Just keep observing your body if you can relax more. Notice your thoughts. Can you be aware of your breath as well as the thoughts that you're on? Just following your breath a little longer. And then just one more breath. When you're ready, you can blink your eyes open, come back into your practice. Sometimes when we do that kind of meditation, I try on purpose not to talk too much. Firstly, to disturb where your mind is and your kind of your quietness and your silence. But just every now and then just sort of intervene and just bring you back if your mind has gone off, just to coming back to the breath. There's a little bit of a fine balance with not disturbing your practice. Okay, lovelies, we're going to come into swan first, but just to start with, because we might be a little bit cold, just want to warm up the hips a bit. So just come to a seated position. You can lean back into the hands, and I literally just want you to just sway the knees and just feel into the hips. Normally we would do some different poses first, but literally just a little bit of movement just to feel into the pelvis, the hip joints. Okay, so as I say, we're going to come into swan. as our first pose. We can take this gently, bringing right knee forwards. Take your time to come into the pose. Use as many props and soft cushions around you as you need to. And if you need to actually make it even more gentle and restorative, you could use a bolster in front of your body to lie on. That's always a lovely option. So we'll start in upright swan. Let ourselves just gradually feel that stretch in the right buttock, around the hip. Lovely little gentle curve into the lumbar spine. And if in this upright position you like to lift your head, you can feel that really lovely stretch all through the front of your body, in the chest. Breathing deeply. And then anytime you want to, when you're ready, you can come onto your elbows or all the way down if you wish. You can use a block for your forehead. Or just let the head relax. And remembering that at any time, if you need to come out of this pose a bit earlier, then please do. Relaxing your shoulders. Notice if the shoulders creep up to the ears. And then breathing to belly. How do you feel in this pose? Just check in with how you're feeling emotionally and physically. Does your breath feel long or short today? Just relaxing shoulders still. Enjoying that lovely deep stretch in the right buttock and thigh. Just a few more breaths. And then we'll just gently, really slowly coming out of this. Enjoying the release from that compression. And then just have a moment lying down. Where do you feel the chi moving? Start to relax through the back. That's particularly lovely for the stomach meridian, that pose, as well as all of the other meridians that run through the legs, liver, kidneys, spleen, bladder. So just noticing where the sensations start to sort of fade and balance out a little bit now. And then we can bring knees in, one at a time, just supporting that core and lower back. And then when you're ready, we'll roll up for swan on the other side. So left knee forwards now. Supporting wherever you need it. Notice what you prefer, whether you actually enjoy more of the upright swan or whether you prefer the lower posture, or whether it's nice just to feel both of the sensations that you get. Just starting to feel whatever you feel in the left side, buttock, hip, thigh. Even as we are in this upright position, notice if the belly is tight as you breathe. And then whenever you're ready coming down, you don't have to wait for me. You can always just lower down when you feel it's right. Just keep coming back to whether your abdominal muscles tighten up with the breath. So what are you thinking? Just follow your thoughts, follow your breath. Noticing if your left side feels very different from the sensations you felt on your right side in this pose. Or they may feel quite even. Keep relaxing the belly as you breathe.
You might find that you can sort of gently slide a little lower to the mat. That might be comfortable. Deepening the stretch. Have your thoughts been more positive throughout this pose, or have you noticed more negative thoughts? Or neutral? So let's just take 2 more conscious breaths while we're here. And gently coming up.
Lovely slow movement as you come out of the pose. Lets you just feel everything. And also being gentle when we're stuck in these poses for a little bit of time, it's good to be gentle with our joints as we move out. So relaxing back. Give yourself a little wriggle or wag the tail if you need to, just to find neutral spine. And it's nice to compare the feelings that you notice this side, whether they're as intense or softer in some way. Which side benefited more? Or does it feel just nice all over? So gently when you're ready, let's bring these in. Take a lovely little rock and a roll. As you roll, you can feel the outer edges of the back. Nice to massage the digestive system. And so our next pose is cat's tail. So as we're already sort of lying back, if you want to roll onto your right hand side, grab a pillow. I like to use this for the head. So coming onto the right. Also, because we're lying on our side, if you feel that you need a little bit more padding under the thigh and your hip, just a soft blanket, just for a little bit more sort of comfort is always nice. And then otherwise we're going to bring the left knee over, bending at the knee, just resting the leg in front of you, a bit like recovery position. If you can, clasp your right foot with your left hand. Grab your cat's tail. But if not, don't worry, it's not important. Just have a loose grip, don't be too tight here. And then whenever you're ready, just relaxing and rolling that left shoulder backwards into a nice twist that you can sort of progress in your own time. I like to use the pillow just to support the neck and the head, otherwise you will find that you'll continually hold tension in the neck. You can use your hand as well to cradle your head if you want to. Nice deep breaths. So as you check around your body, are your buttocks tight and tense? Try to relax and softening around the waist and the lower back muscles. And just enjoy the breath where it sort of spirals in your body. Really nice for your lymphatic system. Any kind of twist enhances solar plexus, our centre of self-worth, motivation. Every now and then you can just see if the body has given you a little bit more space to progress the pose. If you're happy where you are, just stay there though. And relax yet again, especially through buttocks and back and the waist. If you need to come out of the pose, gently you can come out. Notice if your shoulders are tight, your scapula on the back of your body. So just taking a few more conscious breaths here. And then gently in your own time, we can release the foot if you're holding. Slowly bring yourself back onto your side. And then you can stretch out onto your back. Nice slow movements as we come out of a twisted spine. Have a nice sigh, relax, tune into everything that you feel. I find with this pose you'll feel certain things more one side of perhaps the leg area, and then more sensation perhaps on different parts of the body, around the waist, the ribs. Following the chi and prana as always, perhaps inner legs you can start to feel a cool patches. And then in your own time, we can just draw knees in, one at a time. And again, a nice rock here. Enjoy this, just sort of relieving the stretches that we've felt. And then we'll roll up, coming over to the other side for cat's tail. So left side now. Right leg over. Just resting the knee on the mat. If you can grab your foot, so this is right hand and left foot. A number of times I see people grab different feet. It's quite funny. And then in your own time, just exploring this twist. Make sure your head is supported and your neck isn't feeling strained. Deep breaths. Holding onto your foot, just gently clasp. Don't hold on too tight. Try and relax everywhere that we can. So come down to the buttocks, check in there first, around the waist. Even in your thighs, both of your thighs, but especially the back of your left thigh. Notice if you're tight there or the calf muscle. And if you're holding your leg, your foot, notice if you're whether you can let that leg become heavy or whether you're kind of holding muscular activation to support the shape you're in. Following the breath down to the belly. And just enjoy its movement up to the chest. How do you feel in the pose? Again, just explore if this is a nice pose for you today, whether it's welcome. Keep relaxing your buttocks. And then we'll just take a few more breaths. Really gently coming out, releasing your foot. Roll to the side. And then coming back onto your mat. Nice deep inhale, lovely slow exhale. And just enjoying that lovely balance through your body. As you just observe your breath, notice if it is chest or belly, whether you just naturally start bringing the breath to the belly through your practice. And so we can hug knees in. Give yourself a hug. And we're going to come up for frog pose. We won't hold it too long today. It is quite intense, but it is nice as a morning practice. I'm going to roll out just an extra blanket for the knees. I always find if you're on carpet, that might be fine. But definitely if you're on solid floor, I would have an extra padding. If you want to use a bolster, this is always a lovely sort of option to make it a little bit softer. So we come into sort of the wide-legged stance. Try and keep the knee in line with the hip rather than sort of leaning too far forward or too far back, almost coming into a sort of a mantis pose. So you will feel it. It is an inner thigh stretch. Try not to go too far to your limit of gap between your knees. And so you can come down onto a nice bolster. This does make it less intense. It supports your body. Or you don't have to. Just rest on the elbows. And just sort of gradually come to a place where it's comfortable for the knees. As I always sort of say, a 70% of a stretch, not going the full 100%. Just a nice little sensation on the inner thighs. Try to relax around the knees and your calf muscles. You might find that you are active here to support the posture. But gradually you might find that you can just sort of release and soften a bit. Lovely for sacral energy this is. And also a sort of a nice counter pose for swan. Different way of rotating the hips. Anytime you need to, or it's just too much, please come out of the pose. I don't want anybody in pain. Deep breaths. You might find every now and then that the knees kind of slip and you go a little bit deeper into the pose, and that's okay as long as you're happy there.
So inquire, are you enjoying this today, or is it really hard and challenging? Where do you feel it most? Is it knees or is it the inner thighs? So we'll take one more breath and gently come out. So lift up and then just gradually, slowly move so you can bring the knees in. About 3 minutes. Lovely after effect when you come out of that one. So lying back. It's not one of my favourites, but I must admit, when I come into the rest, the pause afterwards, it does feel lovely and sort of a fresh feeling and spacious in the pelvis and around the legs. And also sort of a little bit of a nice stimulation around the knees. So just softening back and just feeling what you feel. I think also when we come into poses like that, it depends on how you feel that day. If you're quite open and sort of happy and joyful and opened and exploring your day, the pose can feel good. If you're full of frustration and full of worry or other sort of heavy energies, sometimes these poses can also feel that challenging, complicated. So we're going to bring these in. Gently rock. Our last pose, I'll give you a choice, either heart bench or bench, whichever you prefer. If you're feeling that you need to be a little bit more soft on the body, we've done some quite deep hip openers today, then maybe come into bench, just lying back over the cushion. If you'd like heart bench, you always know this feels good for you, then please do that. So bench is where we lie back over a little pillow, taking it a few inches away from our body and then just literally coming back, but making sure that your head and neck are supported. If you would like to do heart bench, we have 2 blocks. And we have one that aligns along the back, sort of behind the heart area, and the second one on the top level, just for the head. Take a few moments just to position that block. It always takes me a few goes just to find where it feels right today, and then we can relax. Just soften into this. It always feels a bit strange and hard behind the body to start with, but you do get used to it, and it does feel quite nice. The way the head is resting on the top block allows the chin just to naturally tuck in a little. You can lengthen through the neck here. A really nice opener for the thoracic spine. And nice and gentle on the lumbar. And as I always say, with this being a very heart-opening pose, if you are finding yourself in sort of challenging emotional positions, this pose can often soften that. I like to think of the loving kindness mantra or prayer or meditation, where you offer loving kindness first to yourself, then to your dear loved ones, and then to just people you know, and then people perhaps you dislike, and then finally to everybody. Enjoy the very gentle way you breathe in this position. Just becoming mindful of how much the ribs expand as you breathe. And how they contract on the exhale. Just how much movement in the body you feel with the breath movement. So witnessing your thoughts. And then very gently, we'll just take one more lovely nourishing breath here. We'll lift our head first, whichever pose you chose. Gently support yourself as you lift. And pulling either the block or the cushion away. And we'll come down just for a few moments, just to enjoy the after effects of that pose. And then gently in your own time, choosing whether you want to lie down or come up to seated. But you can have a nice little rock first, just draw knees in. So time to get warm. Pull over your blankets, put on socks and warm clothes.
So just relaxing in whatever position you've chosen. Make sure you're warm and comfortable. Every now and then I like to just sort of find a little reading for you. This is our true heritage. The cosmos is filled with precious gems. I want to offer a handful of them to you this morning. Each moment you are alive is a gem, shining through and containing earth and sky, water and clouds. It needs you to breathe gently for the miracles to be displayed. Suddenly you hear the birds singing, the pines chanting, see the flowers blooming, the blue sky, the white clouds, and the smile and the marvellous look of your beloved. You, the richest person on the earth, who have been going around begging, stop being the destitute child. Come back and reclaim your heritage. Enjoy your happiness and offer it to everyone. Cherish this very moment. Let go of the stream of distress and embrace life fully in your arms. Another little quote here. Keep your face to the sunshine and you cannot see the shadows. It's what the sunflowers do. Anonymous. That's a lovely one. So gently, just bring your awareness back to your body. No need to move just yet. Just come back to your thoughts, make them conscious. Maybe a deep breath and a long sigh. And just check in with how you're feeling. Just overall, how are you today? Not many people ask that. Perhaps we don't even ask ourselves. How are you? How am I today? It's nice to think of ourselves as someone that can care about ourselves. So gently now, just wiggling fingers and toes. Small movement. Rocking the head maybe, if that feels nice. Roll the shoulders. Noticing what feels good in the body, in the mind, in the heart. And if you're lying down, start to have a nice stretch now. You can bring knees in and bring the head up to knees, stretch through the back. And in when you're ready, you can roll up, coming to seated. And bringing hands to heart center. Om Shanti. Namaste.